Hello everybody, this is Debo, Debo's Movie Reviews here, and this week's review will be The Alamo, directed by John Lee Hancock, starring Dennis Quaid as Sam Houston, Jason Patric as Jim Bowie, Patrick Wilson as William Barrett Travis, and featuring Leon Rippey as Sergeant William Ward, who was one of the 185 who fought and died. And damn, can't remember the dude's last name, but the guy who played Santa Ana. And last but not least, Billy Bob Thornton as Davy Crockett, or should I say David Crockett, for the history buffs in the group. I mean, got a decent take on the historical battle, and a bit more accurate than Fess Parker and John Wayne were. And I gotta give it to how Billy Bob, despite already having a band called the Boxmasters, actually took fiddle lessons to play for the scenes that required playing a fiddle, and he did a damn good job of it, to the point that if Boxmasters one of the big bluegrass, as far as I know, I never really listened to them, but I just know that they exist. Because I'm pretty sure if Charlie Daniels saw that movie, he would have been proud. I mean, and kind of odd tidbit about how at first Ron Howard was supposed to have made the movie, was supposed to direct, but only decided to produce it after some fallout with a studio, which is fitting for John Lee Hancock, which, given by that name, I'm surprised they hadn't commissioned him to do a biopic on the founding father of the same name. I mean, seriously. But I give it to Jason Patric. He did a decent job as Jim Bowie, and a bit more accurate from his declining health and his willingness to fight until then. But real flaw was Patrick Wilson as Travis. And I'm just like, yeah. No, that was just, I can't really decide. He just didn't have, I mean, I'll give him his effort, since that was his first movie and all, but yeah, just too far out of the gate for a leading role. I mean, yeah, he was definitely no Lawrence Harvey. Hell, the only thing I ever got right about his performance was the whole line in the sand speech. And of course, back to Billy Bob being the third best Crockett besides Fess Parker and John Wayne. Definitely way better than that guy in that play in that beginning of the movie. And even had that old accurate quote of what he said about his Crockett's political career, which was, "Y'all go to hell, I'm going to Texas." Which of course in reality was due to his disillusion and disdain for Andrew Jackson and disdain for fellow Tennessean Andrew Jackson, who, of course, was kick-started Native American genocide with the Trail of Tears, and Crockett was the lone congressman who voted against it. Which, after watching some historical History Channel documentary about his tenure in the war, 1812, about how he fought the Indians in that war, and how disillusioned he got, and realized what he doing wasn't right, which 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 kind of explains what it did later on after he died, and all helps history books have maintained the fake for just from the coincidence of fighting and serving under it, kind of like how Daniel Boone in the French Indian War both fought under George Washington. But of course, real Crockett hated Jackson, and then back to the movie. I mean, it was pretty decent take. I like Patrick Wilson as Travis, though, was just like, really? That's a role you could have gave to Quaid. Though he did a good, excellent job of Sam Houston, especially more fitting given how this adaptation not only was about the infamous battle under 13 Days of Glory, but you did get like the last few minutes of it. You get some action get to see some action from the Battle of San Jacinto, which was the Texas Houston and the Texas boys' retaliation against Santa Anna for the Alamo, which of course that famous battle coined the infamous phrase "Remember the Alamo," which of course was in real life was coined by Susanna Dickinson, who really didn't have whose husband was among the men killed at the Alamo. Coined the phrase "Remember the Alamo," and even got some epic action scenes of it, with like one where Crockett just taking old Betsy, which of course for the Parker fans knew his rifle, what he calls rifle. And of course with that scene where he like the wing Santa Ana, and I'm just like, really? If real Crockett had a shot of that, he would have had that, was able to take that kind of shot. Santa Ana would have died before he would have died before he ordered the playing at the Guayo, the Cutthroat song. And of course, yeah, also, but I also give it to Hancock's directing. I mean, he did an excellent job of it, and for a name like John Lee Hancock, he should have did a lot more period pieces. Let alone, like I said, about how he needs to do a movie about John Hancock, the founding father. But I gotta get back to Alamo with the casting, because I gotta say with the best parts was of course Quaid and fucking, what was the dude's name? Oh yeah, Billy Bob Thornton, which of course is one of the best Billy Bob Thornton movies I've seen. And it's kind of surprising he hadn't did a lot more westerns, because he did have a small role in Tombstone, but like I said, emphasis on bit role. And but he knocked it out of the park as Davy Crockett, and 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 then some. Even kind of did like the whole take on his part of the battle from according to a History Channel documentary I once saw. You know, it was about the one about Boone and Crockett. I had that deal mentioning of the claim about how he was executed, but taken prisoner, then later executed instead of just dying in battle, which most folks kind of claim that's the most accurate take on it, but I'm not real sure compared to the Crockett death scene from the John Wayne version, and of course the cliffhanger from Parker, because Disney didn't allow brutal death and all, you know, some hoopla, which I'll delve into once I get around to doing the Fess Parker Crockett movies sometime in the future. But overall, the Alamo, I'm going to give it about a 4 out of 5. I mean, worst part was Patrick Wilson as Travis. I mean, did not have leading man to it. I'm just like, really could have thought Quaid would have been better at it, or somebody else of leading caliber. And Jason Patric, he was about on par with Richard Widmark on being on Jim Bowie, who, of course, for those who don't know, Jim Bowie also was the invented and the infamous Bowie knife. Well, kind of like surprised I am surprised they didn't being how Touchstone was a subsidiary of Disney. I'm surprised they didn't at least squeeze in some of the Fess Parker songs from the soundtrack, given that Fess Parker did a Great American album called Great American Heroes, and even had his own take on the Davy Crockett song. They could at least use that in the Easter eggs. Hell, they could at least convince Parker to have a cameo as a lower level old man, just an old man version of himself. But hey, that was wishful thinking, and I'm pretty sure he pretty much said no. No, because he's pretty much old and retired and all. But that would have been awesome, come to think about it. Or at least use them songs. I mean, because I got a picture of an inaccurate scene of a showdown. It was a fight scene where they have Fess Parker playing his Jim Bowie song, which I recommend y'all look it up because that's an absolute banger. But overall, a definite 4 out of 5. I highly recommend it for history buffs and anybody and fans of Billy Bob Thornton. All right, y'all, that'll do it for this week. Peace, and leave recommendations and subscriptions, and remember the Alamo.